Hey guys, I'm sorry we're late. That's my fault. I've been looking for pictures. I've been going down memory lane of the kids at Epcot. We have special guest, our mom extraordinaire, Holly Austin, with us tonight to talk about Epcot for kids and why Epcot is great for kids and why people with little ones should not be skipping Epcot. It's something that I see on Facebook all the time. People saying that if they had to skip a park with their little ones, which park would you pick? And all these people without little kids answer back, oh, Epcot, it's just for adults. And Holly highly disagrees with that.
Yes, and do not skip Epcot.
And so do I. And we have some other points to make that Mandy Malinowski, she chimed in too on the topic. She just couldn't join us tonight because she's out of town, but she also lended herself to this conversation. Hi, Susan. We're going to give a couple of people a few minutes to get on. It looks like we've got some people.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture behind you, Tony Ann. Who took that picture?
I think I stole it from Dave Youngward of Disney Crush. Hi, Facebook user. Don't know who you are.
Oh,
hey,
hi, Karen.
Oh, 484 days with no trams. So Scott saw a very curious list that was put out by Disney of all the attractions that were closing for refurbishment, and Small World was on there.
But it's only for a couple of days, right?
Oh, I don't know. I just got off work right before we started messing with this, so I'm not sure. I didn't see the details. Is that what it is, Holly? Just a few days?
I think it was like 3 days or something. I don't think it was a long one, if I remember.
No, I got some intel, and I found out why they're closing it. So
why, Dave?
They've got so many complaints on the music that they're going to change the music.
You can't change the classic.
Yeah,
so Dan Austin says that Holly is a super mom for sure.
Aww.
He would know.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Facebook user. All right, we're going to do our intro music while other people get on. Here it comes. So
good night.
That video reminded me that we took some of that video the day after Hurricane Matthew, and that leads us to what our podcast is about this week, which is coming out tomorrow night, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about hurricanes and what to do if a hurricane is coming and putting your trip in jeopardy. So that comes out tomorrow night. Hurricanes. Samantha must be one of the Facebook users because Jen says that she sees Samantha.
So hello, Samantha.
So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit of what had started me on this quest to talk about Epcot for families, and it was Facebook posts that I keep seeing repeatedly where people are saying, don't bother going to Epcot with kids because it's just for adults. It's not. No. But people don't really want to listen to me. Hello, would you do one or 2 days at Epcot with a 4 and a 6-year-old? And this person answered, Janet said, Epcot is more of an adult park, food and booze. One is plenty to see the kiddie stuff. My 7-year-old didn't like it. I do Hollywood Studios instead. I wouldn't even do a half day. Do another park for kids those ages. There's nothing for them at Epcot.
Have they taken a child to Epcot?
I guess not.
I do think, you think, why do they, I don't know. I will say this about Epcot. If you go, I don't want to say it's hard to navigate, but if you walk through it and you walk straight, I can kind of see where people just might get, I don't know.
You miss
maybe they go to
the two sides. You just walk straight in.
Yeah, and I think they go to the showcase. I just don't know, but it doesn't give you that wow feeling like Magic Kingdom. Like when you walk into Magic Kingdom, you're instantly hit before you get in the park with Disney and Disney characters, and I don't know, you get all the feels right away. But Epcot, now I could be wrong, but me personally, when you walk into Epcot, it's cool. The monorail, all that stuff is so cool, but you don't really get that,
Well,
you know what I mean?
When Epcot first opened, in 1982, there was a moratorium on characters. There were going to be no characters at Epcot.
Right.
That didn't last.
No.
Then we got Mickey and Goofy in their spacesuits.
Yeah.
No, Dave, I can see what you're saying though, because on all like the promotional videos, you see Magic Kingdom, and now you see a lot of Hollywood Studios with all the Toy Story and Star Wars.
Right.
You don't really see a lot of Epcot right now, but it's going through that transition. So I feel like you're going to start seeing more of it once those construction walls start coming down, and people just do your research. There's so much for kids to do.
Yeah.
Here, 0. Epcot is for adults. If your kids are tall enough to ride Flight of Passage, do Animal Kingdom instead.
There is less for them to do at Animal Kingdom than there is for them to do at Epcot.
Exactly. And that's what we're gonna talk about. There are 9 rides at Epcot. 9. There are 8 at Animal Kingdom. There are now 9 at Hollywood Studios, but the ones at Hollywood Studios have height restrictions.
Right.
So let's look at this. Dave, can you move that quote? Yeah, there you go. This was on Google image search. I can't give credit to who this came from. I'm sorry. It did not come from me, but it really proves a point. When you look at the height restrictions at the 4 parks, the park with the least height restrictions is Epcot. There's only 3.
It's a fairly low height restriction too. Like they're all 40-inch height restrictions. There's no 44 inches or 48 like at Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios.
So your Abby, how old is she now?
Abby was able to ride everything at 3.
So she was 40 inches by the time she was 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So
not the time she was 3, but during her age of 3.
During her 3rd year.
Yeah. She was able to ride 40-inch height.
Well, that would be her 4th year.
Something like that. Yeah. Before she turned 4.
Before she turned 4, she'd ride everything at Epcot. She was 40 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So that just goes to show you. I mean, she can't ride Space Mountain at Magic Kingdom.
Mm-mm.
She can't ride Rock and Roller Coaster.
Right.
She can't ride Expedition Everest or Flight of Passage.
Right. Well, even Noah, he wasn't able to ride those 40-inch rides. Even our last trip. I mean, he's grown so much this last year, he can now ride them. But yeah,
So most kids can ride almost everything. And truthfully, when you look at Hollywood, people are saying go to Hollywood. There's more for little ones at Hollywood. A lot of those rides at Hollywood are scary Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, even some of the Star Wars rides. I would, might be scary for a sensitive child.
Right. And I look at this list and I think about the age of my kids. I had no idea the first time we went to Toy Story Land that Alien Swirling Saucers had a height restriction. So that was Simon's first and second trip. He wasn't able to ride Alien Swirling Saucers. So and Mickey and Minnie's wasn't built yet. So he was able to ride Midway Mania, and that was it, other than, the Frozen show and the Lightning McQueen show. There was only one attraction that he could ride before he got to the height of 32 inches.
So let's talk about the attractions at Epcot. We have, what have we got, Holly?
9 rides at Hollywood Studios and 6 you can't do if you're under 38.
Right.
Good one, Scott. Hey, Barbara.
Yeah. So at Epcot, the attractions that you can do, the ones I have down, and chime in if I miss any, I have down Frozen Ever After.
Right.
And they can do that from being a handheld infant on. I mean, Simon rode that when he was 10 weeks old. You have Nemo and Turtle Talk in addition to the Seas. Oh yeah, there's my crew with the lovely plexiglass. We were lucky on that trip. They didn't have plexiglass on every boat, but we got one. But over in the Seas, you have the whole aquarium the kids just love. And then you have Nemo and Turtle Talk, which I consider Turtle Talk an attraction, when it happens. Right. They love that, Crush interacting with them. Mm-hmm. Going right next door, you have the Land, Living with the Land. And then, there's used to be the Lion King video, but it's now Awesome Planet if your kids are into, that kind of like National Geographic type movies.
And if they like cucumbers, they can go to the Land and get them for free.
Yes. Yeah. Our kids love cucumbers.
Just throw Simon off the boat and have him get you one.
Hold him up like the Lion King. Grab it.
Didn't take long, did it, to bring up the cucumber?
Then there is Figment, Imagination.
Right, absolutely. Figment is a favorite ride of ours.
Yeah. Love it or lump it. But, the kids do enjoy it. They don't know any different. And then the Pixar Shorts Theater.
Uh-huh.
Aww.
Those are Mandy's kids who have great fashion sense. You've got Cam.
Oh, yeah.
Cam has great and then Avery in that orange bird outfit. I keep asking Mandy to make me one of those in my size. She hasn't done it yet. I don't know.
That shirt he had on was amazing, wasn't it?
That really was. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the Pixar.
The Pixar, yeah. So our kids love the Pixar shorts.
Oh, that's not it.
Oh, that's Nemo.
Not it. That's
Nemo. They love the Pixar shorts because they don't have to hold their attention for 2 hours or 20 minutes. They're
right, because they're just shorts.
Yeah, and with the 3D glasses, I mean, Abby doesn't keep hers on, but Noah loves that, and that's little Noah.
That's little Noah and riding the Nemo ride.
Oh my gosh,
baby Noah.
No height restrictions. So
no height restrictions. No.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey. So then you have Spaceship Earth.
Right. Which is a good place for Dad to take a nap. Right.
Yeah. I mean, our kids have dozed off on some of
it's okay. But you know what? That's good. Sometimes they need a nap and you put them on the night. There's air conditioning and it's dark and that's okay.
It's calming. It's not, a lot.
Right.
And then you have Grand Fiesta Tour.
Three Caballeros is everybody's favorite. Yep.
And so I think I got them all.
Yep, I think you did. You did. And then you've got Mission Space, Test Track, and Soarin',
right? Which
have have a 40-inch height requirement. Actually, I think the orange Mission Space is 44, something like that. But the green, ride the green.
I couldn't tell you. We did Mission Space on our honeymoon, and I have not done it since.
Never again.
And Dan took Noah on the green, and that's about all the more we've done.
Yeah. And the kids love Test Track. I mean, I know my kids did when they were little.
Right before when we were eating dinner tonight, I said, Noah, what's your favorite thing about Epcot? And he goes, everything. And then I said, would you ever want to take a trip without doing Epcot? And he said, no, because your trip just isn't complete without Test Track.
Oh.
So
What a Disney connoisseur he
Yeah.
is.
And actually, that was part of the reason why in 2020 we went in January and Test Track closed for refurbishment, and he was devastated because
'cause
at that point we were
complete.
yeah,
without
we
Test
were
Track.
only going once a year at that point, and he was going to have to wait a whole another year. Well, we scheduled for December, then COVID hit, and we kept our December trip, but Test Track was open, and he was so excited to do Test Track.
That's awesome.
That was the whole reason we did 2 trips that year. was Test Track. Oh yeah, that's coming. The Ratatouille ride, and
that's gonna be another one that the whole family could ride, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
Hi,
you can't.
Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Oh yes, the height requirement. Yes,
In
the height requirements for Epcot. Is that what you're looking for, Amy?
I think that's what she's looking for. So I mean, you can't beat the attractions at this park. I mean, compared to all the other parks, Magic Kingdom is the only park that has more rides, attractions that you can do with the whole family without any height requirements.
Right. And I keep saying that in these mommy posts that say there's hardly any rides at Epcot. And I was like, there's 9. There's 9 rides. What do you mean there's hardly any rides? There's 9. So
But Chris is talking about what I was kind of saying about showcases. When you get down there and you go kind of to showcase, it can be a little underwhelming for kids, I think.
Well, I think it depends on the kids and the approach, because there are things to do in World Showcase. One of the things that we talk about is, and this is pre-COVID, of course, how Epcot is second to none with characters. There's a lot of characters in Epcot, and you trip over them. There's so many of them, and this is pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID, and a lot of this stuff is pre-COVID. It hasn't reopened yet. But you have such great access to the characters too. I mean, Mary Poppins, she was just doing her meet and greet out in the gardens, and I was there. That's my mom holding baby Simon, and he was having an absolute meltdown. It was pretty warm that day. He just couldn't get cool. She stopped her meet and greet and came over to talk to him in her sweet little British accent and just calmed him right down. And I have a video of it, and it's just like the cutest thing ever. She was touching his nose and it was so sweet. I mean, and you think about the princesses all around World Showcase. You're not going to meet all of those princesses anywhere else. I'm hoping that they'll come back. That's little Noah
with Milan.
Yeah.
One of the things that I lost my train of thought there. That's the entertainment that the kids can get out of the stroller and dance.
Yeah, so that's the dragon show in China. And then they have the acrobats in China that, I'm hoping that some of this live entertainment will come back. And, a lot of it was cut, pre-COVID. And then, the mariachi band is typically out in Mexico and not in the pavilion. But yeah.
Michael had a great meet with those, with Joy and Sadness too. Yeah. Lorelai hates eating at the festivals, but she did better at Flower and Garden. Now that's something Holly and I were talking about, is that the festivals give parents an opportunity to let their kids try new things without making a table service reservation and then having the kid eat nothing. You can go to the festival, you can get a little plate of something, let them try a pot sticker, or maybe they want to try sushi. Dominic, when he was 10, wanted to try escargot, and Dave was with us, and we got him a little plate. It was $6 or whatever it is. He tried it, he spit it out, he threw it away, and that was okay. It wasn't the end of the world. I hadn't invested any real money in it, but he got to try something. So
yeah. I mean, the snacks and things around, and not just the festivals, but like in Japan, they have the kakigori, the snow cone. Our kids love that. In China, they have the cotton candy maker that does all the fun cotton candy shapes. Right. The Kid Cot stations, I was going to talk about that too. The Kid Cot, they have the little, little passport bags that you can get.
Right.
And our kids collect those, and I save them for the airplane ride home. So then they do them on the airplane going
Now,
home.
I have to tell you that I much prefer the way they do the Kid Cot now with the little passport with the bags with the look like a little suitcase. Because when my kids were little, we had these stupid sticks with Duffy, and then they'd wind up hitting their brother with it, and you got stuck carrying Duffy around.
Right. I think they had those on our first trip or second, one of our early trips before Noah was really big enough to start doing it, but we had picked one or two of them up. Yeah. And I'm just like, what am I going to do with this? But the little bag, and it just has like a little postcard in it and a sticker. And I think that's it. Just a little sticker from the country and a postcard that gives you a little bit of information about that country. And then they can color the one side and learn a little bit about. Right. And now that Noah's reading, that's kind of fun for him.
And do they still have the passports you could buy where you could have the cast members write in them? I'm not sure, but that used to be something that they used to do. With the international cast members, a lot of them away right now. It's probably harder, but that was something that was neat. There was a passport that they sold that you could go from country to country and ask the cast member to write something in the passport in their language about their country or about themselves. It was really neat.
Yeah, a lot of when the international cast members were there, a lot of them wrote on those little postcards that were in the bags. They would write like hello in their native language.
In their native language.
If they had time and there wasn't a long line, they would write your name. Like in Japan, they would write it in the Japanese characters.
Nice.
Write the name. So I mean, that was a lot of fun.
So, Kayleen, are you asking where you get the little bags? That's at the Kid Cot stations, which are in each country. Do they still have one in the land? Because they used to have them in the other pavilions too. I don't know.
I don't know.
When it was Duffy on a stick, they used to have it in the other pavilions. But I think in each country, they have a Kid Cot station. And if, whichever country you hit first, you just ask them for one and they'll give you one.
Yeah. And so your first country, you can ask for the bag with the little postcard. And then all the other countries you visit after, you just get the postcard. They usually just have them like laying on a table, and you can just you can either stay there and talk to the cast member, or you can just pick it up and go and just stick it in the little bag you got at your first station.
Well, that was the other thing with Duffy, because we would invariably get stuck with my child sitting at a table coloring Duffy. Yes. And it's like, come on, dude, I got a fast pass.
Yeah.
It was sort of like Dave and the petting zoo at Animal Kingdom. It was, similar to that.
That was torture.
Yeah. But Dan mentioned the penny press machines, and Noah got really into looking and doing a penny from each country. Ended up to being more than one penny from each country, but
wow.
Yeah.
So Scott says they are doing the passports again.
Oh, so good.
Awesome. There's stuff, your kids get to try on funny hats.
Yeah. They love going into the little shops and seeing some of the stuff that, they don't normally see, and roaming around out of the stroller.
This is one of my big points about Epcot is you can let your kids get out of the stroller and walk around because the walkways are so wide. And there's places they can explore without getting too far away from you. Like inside the Living Seas, they can get out of the stroller and you feel okay about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons we loved going to Epcot when the kids were really small, because a lot of the other parks, they're in the stroller all day. The walkways are so narrow, the crowds are so big. You're constantly, keeping an eye on them and making sure they're with you. But at Epcot, most days there's so much room to roam that you can give them a little bit more space away from you, and they just feel a little free.
Daniel liked the Duffy stick because he used it as a fan. He used it to fan himself.
Yeah.
Hey, it works.
And there's these splash pads, water features. There's one over by Test Track, and then I think there's one on the walkway between Future World and World Showcase. I don't know if they're both still.
Yeah, it used to be right there, right in between them.
I don't think they were up in December, but a lot of the water stuff.
Yeah, it was cold in December. Yeah. And I think with COVID, there was a lot of stuff not up, but I think a lot of this stuff is coming back.
And they have the playgrounds. I think the playgrounds reopened.
That's what I heard. I heard the playgrounds reopened. So every season there's a playground where the kids can get out of the stroller and run around and climb, and that's a good thing too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's Dominic. He wasn't a toddler there, but that's the kind of thing kids can do at Epcot. I did mention and there is a video on YouTube that I made. This is one of my first YouTube videos, so it's not great. But me and Michael went around World Showcase and tried candy from every country. You know, some people drink around the world. Michael gets candy from around the world.
Yeah.
And we started on the Canada side, and by the time we got around to China, he was like,
no more. And I love that. I mean, that's something to say. I mean, for Epcot, that it's not just alcohol and booze, and you can snack around the world and just grab a different snack in each country. I mean, the festivals always have fun little strolls that you can do. Like our kids love the holiday cookie stroll.
Yeah.
And then you get another cookie as your prize when you finish it. So, I mean, I think we ended up with 6 cookies, but we had 3 kids at the time. So we just split them all. And, so between 5 of us, we split 6 cookies.
Now,
it wasn't overwhelming.
The food at Epcot, you should be able to find something that your kids will love. And tell us about this picture of Noah at Beer Garden, because you told me the story about this picture.
Yeah, so this is Beer Garden, which is one of our favorites. I mean, we've been back numerous times, but Mommy and Daddy had, adult juice in our glasses, our steins like that. And Noah wanted his juice in a stein, like our juice. So they brought him his apple juice in a little stein, and he was just over the moon. I mean, I think he was like 4 at the time. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, this is one of our favorite places, and I hope it comes back, full throttle here soon with all of the dancing and the bands. That's one of our kids' favorite places.
The band was there when we went in October, but you were not allowed on the dance floor. Yeah. And the dance floor was one of Michael's favorite things back when he was a kid, was dancing. Look at all those people dancing. That you got a good crowd.
Yeah. So that's Dan there in the middle, standing with the hat on, holding Abby. And then I took this picture from our seat, and we were the first table next to the opening. So literally Dan and I could just sit there at our table and just watch our kids dance. So
that's awesome.
Eat and drink. It was kind of like doing Epcot as adults, but with kids, and they were having a great time, and we were having a great time. And yeah.
Dan said he stumbled to the floor because he had a sugar high.
All the apple juice.
But another favorite of yours and the Malinowskis is Via Napoli. And Via Napoli, I tell everyone, is just an amazing value. If you have a family to feed, where is that picture? There it is.
Yeah, the meter pizza.
If you get that meter pie for about $40, depending on what you get on it, you can feed the whole family. That's less than a quick service.
Yeah, we fed the whole family, and we took leftovers back because we were leaving. So we took several slices back and had them for a snack later that evening once the kids went to bed. But yeah, this past trip was the first one we went on without a dining plan. And so it was kind of eye-opening for us. We just, with kids, it's pretty good value with the dining plan when you do character meals and things like that. So yeah, Via Napoli was definitely a must-do this time. And you couldn't beat the price for how many people it fed.
So right now, during COVID, Epcot still has character dining.
Yeah.
This is a COVID trip that Mandy went on, where Epcot still has character dining with characters. You know what park doesn't really have character dining with characters? Magic Kingdom. Yeah. It has Beast running through the room really quick. Yeah. And if you
and Cinderella popping up to say hey.
But Epcot has real character dining with actual characters that go around. So,
and Garden Grill is a good restaurant. It really is. And we did it pre-COVID. We haven't been back since.
Right.
But it's small, so the characters come around numerous times. It actually got to the point where Noah was like done. He didn't want to talk to Mickey and
later Mick
Chip and Dale anymore. Like, he was intent on eating, and he paid them no attention. Like, let me eat my food, guys. But Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's not Garden Grill, but that's still.
No. And it's good food. If you like Liberty Tree Tavern, it's very similar food to Liberty Tree Tavern. Just,
and it's more kind of accessible food for the kids, because I know
absolutely
some people have said that Be Our Guest, the food is actually not the kids menu is not very kid friendly. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't had little kids in a long time, but
right. Well, and price wise too, I wouldn't take my kids to Be Our Guest, but Garden Grill is a reasonable character meal.
And Akershus, which isn't open right now, but if you had to choose between Akershus and Cinderella Royal Table, I actually had a better meal at Akershus with better the characters, for me anyway, at Cinderella seemed very rushed, whereas at Akershus they came around a couple times.
Yeah.
And people are, I guess, intimidated by the menu at Akershus because it's got these weird Norwegian names. But if you actually break down what they are, there's a steak dish, a chicken dish, a salmon dish, and Swedish meatballs, and a pasta dish. It's really not that crazy, the food.
And if it's scary for you, they have a pretty good breakfast. We did breakfast there. It was back in the days where they did, pre-park opening breakfast. So we did an 8 a.m. breakfast, and we rode Frozen Ever after like 2 or 3 times before the park even opened.
That's
after
awesome.
breakfast.
Wow.
But yeah, it was good food, and they still had some interesting things on like their cold salad bar and pastry bar.
Yeah.
Which I probably will not be back because it was a buffet type thing. But the actual hot food was family style. So that was nice. And the characters were good and sweet, and they had a little princess promenade through the restaurant. And Akershus was a good one for us.
Amy Rhodes says she was rushed at Akershus. So I think it depends on the day you go sometimes, or the
time.
The time, right? Because if you're there at prime mealtime, they may rush you.
Yeah.
And I do have to admit, Amy, I was there at like a 2:30 reservation, so maybe that's why I wasn't rushed.
Yeah, and we were there at 8 a.m. I think we were the second party seated, so I don't think we were very rushed at all. Yeah, we rushed our kids more so we could do Frozen Ever After. We didn't have fast passes for it.
Yeah, we need more intel on this.
No, he's saying you could go snorkeling at the fountain entrance once. You could do it once. Kind of like that girl got the cucumber once.
Yeah,
do it once. And then you can't do it ever again.
Yeah.
All right. So
more on the dining at Epcot. There are we talked about Beer Garden, Garden Grill, Akershus, and Via Napoli. Coral Reef is a fun one for the kids.
Oh,
you can get right down by the windows. That's where you eat inside the aquarium.
Right.
We did that one with Noah. Right. We were up pretty high at that point because we had a large group.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a fun one for the kids.
There's no guarantee though you're going to get that seat right by the glass. Right. And one time I did get the seat right by the glass, and with my mom, and there were little kids like climbing over us the whole meal. And my mother, she's sweet, she's a kindergarten teacher, so she was like okay with it, but like, all right, I want to eat now. And this kid is climbing on the back of my seat. But.
Right. And another great thing about Epcot is its accessibility to other places like the boardwalk. So pre-COVID, Trattoria Al Forno had the great character breakfast. I talk about characters because it's kids, and that's
right.
And then Kate May had a great character breakfast, and Kate May had a great buffet at that point. But hopefully, the character breakfast will come back for that.
Right. And one of your points that you had said to me was about the way that people book Bay Lake to be close to Magic Kingdom, or Poly to be close to Magic Kingdom. The Epcot resorts are very convenient for families with little ones because you can quickly go back to the room for a nap or whatever.
Yeah, Epcot, and then if you're in one of those Epcot area resorts, you're also really close to Hollywood Studios too. So you're actually within walking distance of 2 parks as opposed to 1 park. But that might be a discussion for another show.
So Amy says that at her 8:30 reservation, she fed Lorelai first. And then she wanted hot food, and the server gave her attitude because there was still food on the table. Oh. But Amy wanted hot food. She was paying a lot of money. She wanted her food to be hot. So I don't blame you one bit, Amy.
Yeah,
right. The Skyliner is another ride, Jeff. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
And it can take you to a really great character breakfast.
Topolino's Terrace. Yeah, Topolino's Terrace. I saw. Look at This is a kid really enjoying her pizza.
That kid really enjoys all of her food.
That's a good picture too. That's almost like a Jeff Opolka picture.
That's a beautiful picture. That
I
really
think
is.
that's a Dan portrait mode picture.
Oh,
he has the
good
good
girl.
camera.
Good old Dan. Yeah. Oh, there's
that's
you
when
know
Pooh
what that
came
is?
out. Pooh came out.
Pooh's on the grass.
Pooh's on
There's
the
Pooh on
grass.
the grass.
Oh, I remember that. He came out when we were there. He came out when we were there.
Dan sent that picture especially for me. There's Pooh on the grass. And look at her in that little hat.
That's baby Abby.
You know what you didn't send me? You didn't send me the obligatory picture that everybody takes with the troll in the Norway gift shop.
I don't know if I have one.
Oh, you're gonna have to get one of those.
Oh, I loved this. She
kissed him.
Mm-hmm. And he was like loving it. He ate it all up. He was about 2.5 at that time. He ate that up, and he just he was not going to wash that off or wipe that off or anything.
And look at her.
That's
She's
a great
loving
picture.
it too.
That's a great picture.
Yeah.
Lorelai, just keep dancing, kiddo. You're dancing so good.
Yeah.
Hi, Lorelai. You know what? I should have put the picture from G3 of Lorelai with the butterfly wings, because the festivals are so kid friendly. This is Noah doing spin art.
Yep.
At the Festival of the Arts.
Yeah.
This is what you pick the colors you want to do.
Mm-hmm. You put the little paint in the drum there on the canvas. And they kind of guide you the best places to put it, or if you want colors to be in certain places where you should put it, or where it's going to spin. Oh, and Cam did
this is Maddie's son Cam doing the same thing.
Yeah. This was Noah had a birthday gift card, and that was what or a Christmas gift card, and that's what he used his Christmas gift card for. And then they put it in a nice frame to come home with you.
And then you get on the bike, and the colors spin around.
Yeah,
that's great. Oh, Chris, they're changing it to the 225.
What is she doing there? Drinking chocolate? Is that
so that's the chocolate flight, the sipping chocolate flight without booze in it. It has the milk chocolate, the dark chocolate, and the white chocolate, and she is a chocolate girl, and she loved that sipping chocolate.
Oh, and then
the palette cookie.
The palette cookie.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they are, Amy. That is for sure. Hugs and kisses.
Oh, is that what that was? The chocolate flight mustache?
Yes. Yeah, that's what she had all over her face. Yep, that one. Yeah. And that's what her shirt says. I'm here for the snacks.
Oh, I love her.
Loves her snacks.
She's a girl after my own heart. Yeah. So this is the before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the after.
Yeah. Yeah. But another great thing about the festivals is they also have, we talked about the cookie stroll, but they have other scavenger hunts. Like the past Christmas they had to search for Olaf, and then you got a fun little cup when you were done. Right. And I mean, it was like $6, but you got a cup that you can't get in the gift shop for $6. So, right. And the kids enjoyed it. They had little stickers.
Now, Baymax was one of Michael's all-time best character experiences. And this is something this is my advice to all moms of little kids. If you have Memory Maker or PhotoPass, if you have that, let the PhotoPass photographer take the still shots, and you do video, because you cannot get those moments back. Mm-mm. And Michael was dancing with Baymax, and I don't have it. I have these still shots because I took, while the PhotoPass photographer was taking still shots, I was taking still shots too. But I should have been, and so from now on, I video while they take the pictures.
Yeah. I have a lot of videos. I mean, when I was looking through to send you pictures tonight, I didn't have the PhotoPass pictures saved on my phone, but I had so many videos.
So you're gonna have to get Dan to edit those.
Yeah.
You can do it. Cute.
Yeah.
I do it. Oh, okay. It's hold on. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the kiss before he had the lipstick. They're all out. These pictures are not in order. So
no, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's just the way. Oh my God, look at Noah.
That's little baby Noah running free. He loved, and he was 18 months, and he was just running free.
He didn't have to be in the stroller.
Didn't have to be in the stroller. This is in the African outpost. They have a little drum area. Yeah, so the kids loved exploring that. Yeah. There's the Labby.
Aww. And,
Yeah,
and
this-
and again, just princesses at the yin yang in
and they're
almost every
so
country.
great. I mean, she was talking to him about his shirt.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're just wonderful. I can't wait for it to come back. I say I hope, but it's got to come back, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, and there's the Dan had mentioned this earlier, the Chase Visa card meet and greet.
Yes. So it's a lot less waiting than than the character.
And you don't know what characters you're going to get, and they always keep it a surprise until you turn the corner to see the characters. But it's some of the Fab Five. That was Minnie and Pluto. We've been there before, where they had Goofy and Mickey. So yeah, you're going to get some of the Fab Five.
More of Garden Grill.
Garden Grill, yeah. It's Grand Fiesta Tour or the Land. It might be the Land. I don't know.
No, it looks like
Grand Fiesta Tour. Okay.
Grand Fiesta from
Yeah.
Okay. And these are Mandy's. That's Vanellope, and she had Ralph too.
Yeah.
So yeah. And more of Joy and Sadness. They're pretty awesome. So now Joy comes out on the grass like Pooh. And Mandy's family favorite is Donald, especially next to his own. We have also stood a little ways down from Lorelai during parade to get her reactions. So what Amy's saying is she videotapes Lorelai while the parade is coming. That's awesome.
Yeah. We've never waited for this Donald.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah. He always has such a long line when we get over there.
She's probably asking about her dress.
Yes.
The characters are just amazing with the kids. And this is more festival fun. This is Festival of the Arts.
Yeah.
The photo pass that they do during the festivals are so cool. And during was it Flower and Garden when we were there? No, it was still Festival of the Arts. When they had the butterflies. Was that Flower and Garden, or it must have been Flower and Garden?
It might have been Festival of the Arts though.
Did they do it for both maybe? Because
maybe.
I remember Lorelai, the pictures with the wings.
Yeah.
And that was Festival of the Arts. But then I went for Mother's Day with my mother and the wings were still there. Somebody's here. Michael, do you like Epcot?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to do at Epcot?
I must say the carousel.
The what?
Come
here.
The carousel.
The caramel store. Michael's favorite thing at Epcot is the caramel store.
You can't forget.
Thank you.
Caramel popcorn.
You're welcome. You need me to help you with your iPad?
Well, yeah.
Thank you. Thank
you got it? Okay. I think that's, let's see. We got I think that's, here's another one from Festival of the Arts.
What's up, Facebook user?
Oh, I didn't even dig back into all of these pictures.
Yeah, I love it when they brought those out. These were so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I just want to make sure that
it's Mike.
Covered everything that was on my list.
It really is.
Yeah. So many fun photo ops where the kids don't realize they're getting their picture taken. It's not just like a stand and pose. Like they get to interact with the picture.
I have like this form response when I see that on Facebook, and I just want to make sure that I hit all my points. The rides, the exploration. Oh, also the areas after the rides, like when you get off Spaceship Earth or you get off Figment.
Imagination, yeah.
You get off Finding Nemo. Besides the aquarium, you've got that shark area with Bruce.
Yeah.
When you get off Test Track, they've got the games, and then they've got the cars that the kids all like to sit in.
Right.
So there's that. The characters, the food. Yeah, that's. Let me double check. Now Mandy also sent me a list. I want to make sure we got all her points. Because I got the advice from all the mommies. The playgrounds, the aquarium. Mary put the aquarium, the aquarium, the aquarium.
Yeah.
That aquarium, you can fit Spaceship Earth in that aquarium. It's so big.
Yeah, Mike did stay very long, you guys. He came in like the wind and was gone. Yeah.
Not into Epcot tonight.
I guess not.
He loves Epcot as long as there's caramel involved. There are practically no rides that they can't do. Everyone can ride. The scavenger hunts you talked about.
Yeah.
She said it's the easiest park to feed her kids in.
Yeah.
And there's amazing treats. Besides the restaurants, you've got the bakeries. You got a bakery in Sunshine Seasons. You got a bakery in France. You got a bakery in Norway.
And when you're in World Showcase, if somebody doesn't want something in one country, I mean, the next country's steps away. So it's not like you're walking across the park.
So many choices, right?
She said it's an easy park to navigate, especially with a stroller. There are wide paths and lots of room, so you're never overcrowded. Yeah. And she feels safe with her kids getting out of the stroller and walking around there.
You should get Rich on here to talk about what he thinks about walking around Showcase.
It's the Epcot Death March. That's what he calls it. But that's only because his favorite restaurant is Tangerine Cafe in Morocco, and it's all the way, you know. But if you take the boat, it's not that bad. But right now it's closed, so hopefully it'll reopen. So.
Yeah, Laura, he's gone.
Club
Cool. That's a good one.
You're right, Jeff. Club Cool. How can I forget that?
It's been closed for so long.
I know.
Yeah.
With the sticky floor that your shoes stick to. I miss that.
Delicious.
Yeah. Especially when it's hot. It's nice to go in there and get a little Beverly, right?
Yeah. That's the other thing. Now, I have said that I like Epcot on a rainy day. People tell me I'm crazy because the pavilions are spaced out, so you do get wet between pavilions. But you can actually stay in a pavilion for a whole rainstorm. You can you can stay in the land. You can ride Living with the Land. You can ride Soarin'. You can have a snack.
Right.
You can go watch that Awesome Planet movie, and you can wait out a rainstorm in a pavilion pretty easily.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of my favorite parks for a rainy day.
And the concert series, when they come out, they had some really good acts. I mean, okay, some of them were, one-hit wonders, but man, I saw some really good shows there over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always good entertainment in that theater. Between Voices of Liberty now.
And even kids, a lot of the little kids love it too,
Yeah.
Dance.
In the Japan pavilion, they have that little museum, and usually there's stuff there that kids like to look at. I think right now, I'm not sure what the latest exhibit was. I think the last one was Kwai, which was all like cutesy stuff, which they like to look at. And then I think before that, it was like toy robots that my boys were fascinated by. So Tom Ellison loves Hanson. Who doesn't? They're not coming back this year. So,
I will say this. People don't give them enough credit. They are really talented kids.
They're prolific.
Well, now they're men.
Songwriters. Yes.
They're very talented.
They were a Masked Singer this season.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yep. Yeah. So there's just a lot to do.
Yeah, Yuli, I totally agree. Holiday Festival is one of our favorites. And I mean, we did miss the Santas and all the stories at Christmas, and Candlelight Processional is great. It's a lot for the kids, but it's, it's got a great story with it and great. Dan and I performed in it when we were younger. So it's always like special for us to go back and watch it. But yeah, holidays is one of our favorite times to go to Epcot.
When my kids were little, we went to the Candlelight Processional, and because my kids love music, but Dominic was fascinated by the instruments, and he was like, what's that instrument? Oh, that's a French horn. What's that instrument? That's a xylophone. What's that instrument? And this lady in front of us turns around and is like, are you gonna just do that for every instrument? Like, I was like, lady, this is Disney World. You don't like kids. Like, Oh, Amy says next year Hanson will be back. So,
well, there you go.
One of Mandy's points was about the fireworks.
Yes.
That with little kids, it's not, you go see the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. Sometimes you have to scope out a spot 2 hours in advance. And that little kids do not do well sitting for 2 hours in advance. Where her kids, especially if she's staying in the beach club boardwalk area, they could get to the park like a half hour before the fireworks. Go get a snack, scope out a spot 5-10 minutes before the fireworks. There's so many places that you could see those Epcot fireworks from that you don't have to scope out a spot way in advance.
Right.
So, okay, Tom, you work on that. The Hanson crush. I went to the Hanson concert with my daughters.
Oh, your daughters are like fanatics about them guys.
Leona especially, yeah.
We'll put Tom in charge of this.
Okay, he's gonna
Let's crush
play
meetup.
the Hanson Crush meetup. Okay.
And we can start
So-
a group.
So if you see people on Facebook telling other people not to take their little kids to Epcot, I hope you will send them to this and from that group. So for sharing videos from other podcasts. But so don't get banned, but use some of our talking points to steer them in the right direction, that Epcot is not just for adults, that there is plenty to do there for little kids.
Right.
And it could be a much more relaxing pace than Magic Kingdom too. I think there's a lot to be said for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you slow down a little bit at Epcot. You're not just bebopping back and forth between the next, thing. You do slow down. You get to, have a little bit more of a relaxing day.
I think that's awesome. But it's still, this is the last picture you sent me.
Yeah. That's what happens when you let them roam the park all day long. That's how they go to sleep at night.
And
awesome.
he's out.
Yeah.
Amy's going to be in charge of the Hanson meetup because she'll be at all three Hanson. She'll be
my
at
goodness.
all 3 days for all 3 shows. And I think Scott and Tom are going to need a lot of alcohol for that. So I don't know.
Needless to say, I guess Amy's a super fan.
Amy is a major Hanson fan.
Mm.
Way bigger than my kids. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, guys. Is there anything else going on, Dave? The podcast is coming along. Did you edit it at all, or?
Yeah, of course. I've edited 3 or 4 hours today, and then tomorrow will be another 2 hours or so, and then
right.
we'll get it out tomorrow afternoon.
We recorded last night, and of course, more news came out after we recorded. We were just talking about the fact that we talked about California resident ticket deals, and then today they released a Florida resident ticket deal. But that happens.
Happens all the time. They come news every day. It seems like something new comes out. So.
Absolutely. So, so tomorrow night, look for the new Disney Crush podcast. Next week at this time, our friends Scott and Karen will be here with another Mickey File podcast live stream.
Yeah.
We have some exciting stuff happening in the next week or so with Mickey File, and we'll talk about that next week, I'm sure. Hanson performed at Adventureland 2 years ago for Oktoberfest, so Daniel got to see them.
Wow.
Hanson gets around.
Mm-hmm.
And Holly did a great job. Absolutely. Thank you, Holly, for joining us. And thank you for Dan, because he kept the kids upstairs.
He did.
Even though I told him he didn't have to.
Yeah. And he could text. He was texting at the same time. He was watching the kids and texting.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, we have 4 kids. Noah is 7. Abby is 4. Simon is 2.5. And then we just had Micah just turned 5 weeks old. So Dan had them all upstairs this evening. I think he's got a couple of them in bed now. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Facebook user says she or he are extremely impressed when I see your answers in the other groups. They are elegant and kind. I typically have opened a comment to give my 2 cents and then decide against it because if you don't have something nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Is it one of those where you type it all out and you're ready to hit send, then you're like, no, just the whole thing and go back?
and I do that. I decide against it.
She gets in trouble sometimes.
But I have been banned from groups.
Yes.
So
I think we've both been banned, haven't we?
Yes. But anyway, Holly's doing a great job all around.
Great job, everybody. Yes, great job, Holly.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know I asked you kind of last minute because our regular mom extraordinaire is traveling this week, and then she's going to Disney next week. So not that we feel sorry for her. There was a little poo that showed up.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Dan.
Dan, that goes in the TMI. That's called TMI.
Well, he's multitasking right now. He's doing a great job.
He's changing diapers and texting. I hope you're washing your hands.
I was just going to say, I hope he washed or at least sanitized.
Before you texted. Thanks, Kayleen. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We'll have another topic. You know what? I'm stumped for our next live stream. I don't know. Maybe Dave's gonna come up with the next live stream.
It's my turn to find something. Okay. You got it.
All right.
Don't be scared.
Thanks. Karen, we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday for Mickey File.
Dan, he's taking care of you,
I've
man.
had my fair share all day. No.
Yeah.
On that note.
All right, guys. Everybody have a good night. Have a good week. And we will see you in 2 weeks for our next live stream. Check out the podcast coming out tomorrow night. And please support Mickey Fowl and their live stream next Tuesday night. Good night, everybody.
Night. Thank you, guys.
And look, we got a special guest to say
Hey,
goodnight.
look, we've got a couple of them. They all came down.
Good
Here,
night,
let
guys.
me turn the microphone back on so they can hear you.
Let's go to
Default.
Yes,
Yep.
Dan.
All
There
right,
you go.
there you go. You guys can hear. You can see.
Good night, Abby. You're gonna. Thank you so much for being a good girl and being a good girl for Daddy. So Mommy can talk to us.
Yeah.
Name
So you're welcome.
Simon.
Name is Simon. Yes, Simon. You want to come say hi?
Hi.
Hi,
Hey,
Simon.
Simon.
I can't wait to see you in February at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Disneyland.
In February, hopefully we'll get to ride something together.
Yeah.
All right. So I have to go to bed, okay? But
Okay.
but I will see you in February.
She
All
is,
right.
she's not at Disney World right now. That's
No,
just
that's just a picture. I'm not really at Disney World. All right. Good night, guys. Good night, everybody.
All right,
Thank
night,
you.
guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.